life in the U.S. in 10 years' time. By that time, there may be all kinds of new ways to safeguard and identify all those things that make each of us unique, our faces, even our fingerprints, even our eyes. Here now with more on the future of technology, NBC's Tom Costello.
The year is 2017. You're rushed to a hospital unconscious with no ID or medical history, but thanks to a microchip under your skin, it's all there. Science fiction 20 years ago, but a biometric reality today.
The technology is based on answering one simple question. Am I who I say I am?
Already, fingerprints and iris scans verify passenger identities at airports. Within 10 years, that technology may be even more widespread. And look for more complex facial recognition programs that scan a crowd of thousands looking for a single terrorist. Today's facial recognition software starts with the eyes. Then it maps out the contours of the face and compares that against a database of millions, a database that's growing by the day. What's next? At the University of Bath in England, researchers predict big changes for consumers.
I think it is possible to free us completely of our wallets and keys using biometric technology, if that's what people want.
In fact, it's already here. The latest home security locks use fingerprints to control deadbolts. And at the Jewel Osco grocery store in Chicago, some customers pay using their fingerprints. No paper or plastic.
You don't really need anything other than your hand, and you already got that with you.
So will future department stores scan our irises, like in the movie Minority Report, then offer products catered to who we are?
Hello, Mr. Yakamoto. Welcome back to the Gap.
Experts say that technology is here now. The challenge is to safeguard our privacy in a brave new world.
Is there a solution to deterring
Costello,
hijackers
News,
once they are on the aircraft? Yes, there is a very viable, workable answer. It starts here, when passengers are issued their tickets. At that time, they can also be fitted with a special electronic ID bracelet that they will wear until they disembark the flight at their destination. These electronic coded bracelets will make traveling much more convenient for the public. It will replace the need to carry a ticket by containing all pertinent passenger information. In addition, the bracelet could permit tracking of the passenger through the terminal, including carry-on luggage. Checked luggage can be coded to match the bracelet to ensure no tampering or diversions. By further equipping each bracelet with EMD technology, the bracelets will allow crew members using radio frequency transmitters to quickly and effectively subdue hijackers. The electromuscular disruption signal overrides the attacker's central nervous system and will render even the most elite and aggressive terrorist completely immobile for several minutes. This will allow the crew to subdue and handcuff that individual. EMD technology is designed to incapacitate a target from a safe distance without causing permanent injury, which means these criminals will survive and go to trial. The bracelet would only be armed by someone on board upon confirmation that a takeover situation exists. To a businessman on his way home to be reunited with his family, or to a young family going south for a winter holiday, wearing an EMD safety bracelet for a few hours during a flight is a small inconvenience to ensure their safe arrival. We feel if given the choice between taking a flight employing the added security of the EMD safety bracelet system and taking a flight without the additional security, many, if not most passengers, would happily opt for the extra security of the EMD safety bracelet.
Face recognition technology has become part of daily life, but except instead of controlling security access to top secret spy facilities, the technology is being used to identify the people in that crazy picture from last weekend's beach party. It's all happening, of course, on Facebook, which has been quietly using face recognition software on every photo you upload. And today, a privacy group filed a complaint against Facebook with a government regulatory agency. Here's Nick Schifrin.
Facebook knows me. It knows my friends. It tracks what I like, where I live. It knows my sisters are Christy and Laura. But now, Facebook also knows, well, my face. Of all its 500 million users, it can recognize my face out of everyone else's. Not just mine. If you're on Facebook, Facebook can recognize your face too. Here's how. While we've been uploading more than 20 billion photos, Facebook has been making biometric fingerprints of all our mugs. And now, Facebook has a massive collection of our faces, probably the largest collection in the world. Kinda cool, kinda creepy, controversial enough that European Union privacy officials have launched an investigation. Here's how it works. That's our intern, Brenna Williams.
I'm going to upload some photos of myself.
She's one of millions of people who's using this feature already. When Brenna uploads photos, Facebook recognizes her and her friends and says, hey, that's you, right? Most of the time, it is, and tagging becomes almost automated. Face recognition technology has been around for a while, mostly used by police. They even scanned people walking into the Super Bowl and caught 19 criminals. The guys at Face.com in Israel showed us how Facebook's technology works. They are the largest facial recognition company online.
So this is
Hello. My name is Montague William III. And what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and a big industry. For many a year we have controlled your lives, while you all just struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need, your sports cars and fashions and plasma TVs. I remember it clearly how all this begun. Family secrets from father to son, inherited knowledge that gives me the edge, while you people lie sleeping at night in your beds. We control the money that controls your lives, whilst you worship false idols and wouldn't think twice about selling your souls for a place in the sun. These things that won't matter when your time is done. But as long as they're there to control the masses, I just sit back and consider my assets, safe in the knowledge that I have it all, while you common people are losing your jobs. You see, I just hold you in utter contempt. But the smile on my face, well, it makes me exempt. For I have the weapon of global TV, which gives us connection and invites empathy. You would really believe that we look out for you, while we bankers and brokers are only a few. But if you saw that, you'd take back the power. Hence, daily terrors to make you all cower. The panics, the crashes, the wars, and the illness that keep you from finding your spiritual wholeness. We rig the game, and we buy out both sides to keep you enslaved in your pitiful lives. So, go out and work as your body clock fades. And when it's all over, a few years from the grave, you'll look back on all this, and just then you'll see that your life was nothing, a mere fantasy. There are very few things that we don't now control. To have lawyers and police force was always a goal, doing our bidding while you march on the street. But they never realize that they're only just sheep. For real power resides in the hands of a few. You voted for parties. What more could you do? But what you don't know is they're one and the same. Old Gordon has passed good old David the reins, and you'll follow the leader who was put there by you. But your blood, it runs red, while our blood runs blue.
Ah, the government. It loves you and wants to keep you safe and well. It even wants to make paying taxes, fines, and court costs easier for you. How? Well, you'll need to meet your straw man. He was born the same day you were. He looks like you, has the same name, and lives in your house, but you never knew he existed. You will have even paid his parking tickets or taxes. The worst part? He's been dead from day one. From every birth certificate, a legal personality, or legal fiction, is created with the same name to confuse little old you into thinking it's you. So, there is a human you and a paper you, or as it's commonly known, a straw man. So when it seems like government officials, court clerks, or the police are speaking English, they aren't. They're speaking legalese, designed to make you agree to verbal and written contracts without even knowing about it, all spun from Black's Law Dictionary. For example, when the police say, "Do you understand?" you'll say, "Yes." What they are really saying is, "Do you stand under our authority?" Oops-a-daisy, you just created a verbal contract with them. Oh, you clever government. Did you know that whenever you register something, you are handing over title to the person you register it with? That's right. Whenever you register something with the government, they assume it belongs to them. Registered your car? Super! Now you are the registered keeper of your vehicle, and the government can crush it when you don't pay your, straw man's taxes. Expecting a new bundle of joy? Well then, you need to register your little darling with a birth certificate. Then they can start the process all over again and create a new straw man for your little one. Isn't that great? So when Junior grows up, he'll be able to generate revenue just like you have. When you notify on your baby by signing the birth certificate, your child becomes a ward of state. And if the government doesn't like what you're doing, they'll assume it's okay to take the child away or make new rules for things they don't like. Not enough school? Smacking your child? Shouting too loudly? Then it's off to social services for the little one. When you get a bill, it's sent to you, but belongs to your straw man, not you. That's why bills, fines, and summons start with Mr., Mrs., or Ms. Sometimes you'll see your surname in capitals, just like on a gravestone. That's because your straw man is dead, and just a silly piece of paper, created before you could comprehend or even consent to it. When you go to court, you represent your straw man, so you, the human, take on any costs, fees, taxes, and fines involved for the straw man. The human you doesn't even need to pay them. But you made a contract with the court by appearing on behalf of your legal personality or straw man, just like the government knew you would. Confused? Well, don't worry. The government doesn't want you to know anyway. If you knew, you'd stop paying things like council tax and parking tickets. Because when you go to court, you are representing your straw man. You are you, alive and made of flesh and blood. Your straw man, or legal personality, is a piece of paper created from your birth certificate. And you think it's you. What a silly Billy.
Oh, hi. I'm so glad you're on time. I'm V. I'm looking forward to showing you around Plandopolis today. My husband works from home. He's a virtual engineer working on one of the city's desalination plants. He controls the robots who do all the important maintenance. I think he basically plays computer games for a living. You ready to go? Have you got your calorie card open on your smartphone? I registered your visit with Slick Travel Corp the other day, so they've allotted you a journey time to match mine. It makes so much sense, doesn't it? Switch off brain and go to work. With this many people around, I'm glad there's a mega computer in charge. We're so lucky. Our kids were allocated a school quite near my practice, so I can drop them off on the way. It saves on our calorie ration. Well, it won't be long until the little darlings get their career announcements. They've been working so hard, so I'm sure they'll get something good. Not that there's anything wrong with fixing carbon scrubbers for a living or anything. Are you hungry? Let's pop to the market as we're past. Right, what's on the menu this month? No, not meat. It's not your birthday. The Global Food Council are doing a really good job of keeping food production going. I mean, you don't get the choice you used to, but we're better off than most. I think it's probably easiest to walk from here. You barely see a car in the city centre nowadays, unless you're rich. Well, the state knows they just aren't practical anymore. We're all trying to meet our global carbon deal. Electric bikes are so much better for getting around our neighbourhood. And why waste valuable space on car parks when you can use them to grow food? I don't care what you say, Alex. They don't deserve to live in that ghetto. They are completely disconnected. No high-speed transport system, no new internet. They miss out on jobs and many essential services too. Oh, hi again. What a day. I had to make an emergency visit to the Cry Freedom ghettos. I mean, I miss my sister like mad, but I'm glad they went when they moved to New Amsterdam. They're safe from climate change on the floating city. That must be her now. It's much easier to meet up with friends virtually now. So many cities have banned cars in central areas.
Crowds of people, open doors, arrivals, departures, bags and parcels. The same things that make America's hotels and motels inviting for guests make them attractive targets for terrorists and criminals. As someone who works or stays in hotels or motels, large or small, center city or roadside, full service or family style, you can help keep them safe. If you see something, say something. Terrorists and criminals the world over have targeted places of lodging. Easy access and crowds of people in public spaces are attractive to those wishing to inflict mass casualties and make headline news.
Welcome to the hotel, sir.
What can you do to make the place you work or stay more secure? You can simply look around you, stay alert, and be ready and willing to report things that are suspicious.
How are you doing today?
Don't be fooled into thinking you can spot suspicious people. Terrorists and criminals work to blend in and may look no different than the guests and visitors that come through your hotel every day.
The silver Range Rover? That's the one. Right on it, right on it.
But you can spot suspicious behavior. You know what is normal and customary and what's unusual and out of place.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Did you tell him he could leave his car back here? Sir! Sir! You can't leave your car here, sir!
Guests often leave vehicles at hotel and motel entrances while they check in or load bags. In and of itself, this may not be suspicious activity. But the abandonment of vehicles, particularly trucks, vans, or cars missing identification such as company logos or license plates, near entrances and loading docks is suspicious behavior.
So you have a credit card.
Here's your key, and the elevator is right behind you.
Here's what a credit card will do.
No credit card.
Terrorists and criminals do their best to cover their tracks.
Sir, if you will just give me one moment.
This may include paying in cash or using false identification.
Hang on a second. Let me call you back.
I'm sorry to bother you.
Suzanne?
I have this guest who wants to stay for a few weeks and wants to pay in advance in cash.
Well, cash is money last time I checked. What's the problem? Did you ask him for a credit card?
Yeah, I did. He said he doesn't have one. He doesn't use them.
No credit cards? How about an ID?
He gave me one. It just doesn't feel right.
Well, everyone's normal until they check into a hotel.
Yeah, I know, but...
Problem?
I guess it's not a problem. It's just... Weird. Okay, we have everything checked out then. That's for you. And I'll...
If your interaction with a patron feels odd, if that person appears nervous or anxious, refuses to show ID, if the ID seems to be altered, or if the guest insists on paying with cash for sums that are customarily charged and refuses to show a credit card, alert your manager or security personnel. This is suspicious behavior.
When I heard she was going to be on the show this season, I was completely floored. Who knew she could dance?
And she's wonderful.
She is. And that partner of hers, what's his name?
Rudolfo.
He is an artist. Anyway.
In a lodging environment, it's not unusual for bags to stand unattended for short periods of time.
Grace, did you see that?
What?
A woman. She left that bag at the table.
No, but people leave things there all the time.
I know, but it looked like she did it on purpose. She was acting a little strange, and it doesn't look like she's coming back for it.
Oh, she will. She's probably just getting a coffee. It'll be fine.
Suitcases, backpacks, and boxes may contain explosives or other harmful substances. Pay attention to your instincts. Leaving bags or boxes unattended in a deliberate or calculated manner, or for long periods of time, is suspicious behavior.
Under the Future Attribute Screening Technologies, or FAST program, the Department of Homeland Security is developing innovative physiological and behavioral screening technologies to streamline the screening process at security checkpoints. In support of this program, Battelle has partnered with industry leaders Farber Specialty Vehicles and Draper Laboratories to design and develop a portable research facility for the development and demonstration of innovative security screening technologies, the FAST Demonstration Laboratory. The mobility of the FAST Demonstration Laboratory allows security officials to quickly and efficiently establish security boundaries at any location, making it useful for everything from large sporting events, border crossings, or airports. The Screening Mobile Module provides a checkpoint to establish or supplement security facilities at points of entry. At special events, attendees pass through the Screening Mobile Module. The unique low-floor trailer design ensures accessibility for all. Inside the Screening Mobile Module, a suite of real-time, non-invasive sensors measure behavioral and physiological indications of malintent, or the intent or desire to cause harm. As sensor technology evolves, the Screening Mobile Module can be easily reconfigured with movable partition walls. The Screening Mobile Module can be configured to support primary screening, secondary screening, observation areas, or multiple screening lanes for higher subject throughput. Anchor track on the walls, ceiling, and floors provide a secure and easily reconfigurable means of installing equipment throughout the screening unit. New screening sensors can be easily integrated into the Screening Mobile Module. The command unit provides local supervision and management of screening operations during a security event. Multiple screening units can be wirelessly networked to a single command module, minimizing the resources needed to manage large events and providing a cost-effective means of providing on-site security operations at a large event. Climate-controlled data processing areas in both mobile modules provide ample space for on-site data processing and analysis equipment. The mobile modules are secured by a security system that protects the equipment and sensor data during operation and storage. In the event an intrusion is detected, a local audible alarm is triggered and a monitoring station is notified via cellular network. The FAST Demonstration Laboratory is working towards providing an operationally ready security checkpoint. The current mobile modules provide a useful testbed for developing innovative screening technologies.
Step forward and stand on those footprints on that map. What I'm going to have you do is, can you put your purse in your pocket or just to the side there? I'm gonna have you look in my direction. Just keep your hands just kind of to the side and try and refrain from movement. Okay, just try and remain as still as possible, and we'll begin soon. Did you show your ID to the first guard?
Yes.
Are you attempting to smuggle an explosive device into the expo today? Are you from the local area? Are you attempting to smuggle a recording device into the expo today? Have you been in the local area all day today? Do you plan to detonate an explosive at the expo today? Do you plan to illegally record any information at the expo today? Are you attempting to smuggle an explosive device into the expo today? Are you from the local area? Are you attempting to smuggle a recording device into the expo today? Have you been in the local area all day today?
Yes, I have.
Do you plan to detonate an explosive at the expo today? Is this the month of September?
Yes. Barely.
Do you plan to illegally record any information at the expo today?
No.
Step forward to the metal detector here.
Yeah.
Stop right there. Based on some of the responses to my questions.
The Z Backscatter Van from American Science and Engineering. From the outside, the ZBV looks like an ordinary delivery van, allowing it to blend in to urban and other landscapes. Yet, as it passes by cars, trucks, containers, and other objects, its unparalleled X-ray screening system provides photo-like images, detecting explosives, weapons, contraband, and stowaways. These images can be immediately analyzed by the operator seated in the ZBV's cab. The ZBV is the perfect screening tool for seaports, military bases, border crossings, checkpoints, and any other locations where illegal material or IEDs can be smuggled in via cars, trucks, or other vehicles. Using AS&E's unique backscatter technology, the ZBV produces electronically generated X-rays that detect substances containing low atomic number elements, such as carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. These elements are often present in explosives and other contraband. The ZBV is an ideal tool for detecting these threats in vans, buses, cars, trucks, cargo containers, dumpsters, densely foliated trees and shrubs, and any other objects or containers where dangerous items can be concealed. The ZBV is not only incredibly effective, but also very easy to use. It can be operated by either 1 or 2 people and is up and running within minutes. The operators can view the objects as they're being scanned, and by using AS&E's image analysis tools, they can manipulate, enhance, and save these images. The bottom line is that within minutes, your operator will know whether potentially dangerous materials are present. The ZBV provides still another important tool, radioactive threat detection. This feature can find both dirty bombs and nuclear devices. The ZBV is not only effective and mobile, but also safe. The radiation levels are very low, equivalent to the exposure passengers would receive if they flew in an airplane for 15 minutes. In summary, the ZBV is clearly the most effective screening vehicle on the market today. It's smaller, lighter, and safer than anything else available today, yet costs much less than other mobile X-ray screening systems. The ZBV, a solution for today's security officials.
Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday the 26th of April, 3 days before the royal wedding between Willie and Katie in central London. I just wanted to come on YouTube and give this broadcast to say that because of the incredible surveillance that I have been under, I cannot organize a particular place to meet. All I can say is for Friday, if you are against this public spectacle of propaganda and stupidity and social hierarchy, make your way into London anonymously, switch your telephone off if you are a high-profile activist or anarchist, bring megaphones, bring banners, bring black clothing if you want, and you will find other like-minded people in central London to join. But because my telephone is tapped, my email is being checked, I even got followed in London by someone who I then figured out, I cannot, because of my profile, be as free as some of you in order to cause disruption, because as soon as I set foot in central London, I will have my own detail of police and forward intelligence team who will be filming me and following me for that special occasion. As I've been saying to all the world's media, I have no issue with two young people in love getting married. My issue is when it becomes a giant propaganda bread and circuses event which spends well, basically, because it's a national holiday, this is going to cost the country hundreds of millions of pounds, and on security alone I've seen figures of up to £24 million to keep these inbred, royal, blue-blooded scumbags who are responsible, their family anyway, for so much slavery, oppression, tyranny, brainwashing, and the most important one, poverty in this world. So I may call myself British, I may call myself Brazilian, or both, but I am never a subject to this royal family. It's enough to make me want to burn my passport, but it's out of date anyway, so what am I going to do? I see the royal wedding as a big symbol, a very public symbol of the general madness that the British people and we in the Western world are under. Because I've seen some propaganda from Canada, from Australia, from New Zealand, and from the United States. And your media is also going completely nuts over this royal wedding in a positive way, as if this is a good thing. But I think it's important as protesters that we do make our voices heard. And I can't organize any particular places, but I do know that there will be anarchists meeting in Soho Square on Friday morning. Whether I will be there or not, I can't say. But it's important for us to show our faces, and so for the media, the worldwide media, to see that there is opposition to this, because you're going to see there's going to be hundreds of millions of people watching this on TV going, oh my god, I agree with these people, they're right, this royal wedding is ridiculous, it's stupid. And you know, I see the royal wedding as well as a wonderful opportunity for the Love Police to celebrate 2 years of the Love Police. The official anniversary is the 1st of May 2011 for the 2-year anniversary, but let's do it, let's hijack, let's hack this wonderful worldwide media event to celebrate 2 years of the Love Police on the 29th of April. The police have started to arrest anarchists. I've seen in the mainstream media today that 6 anarchists were arrested around Great Britain who are planning to attend the royal wedding, obviously to protest against it. So we are seeing the beginnings of the Minority Report state, where people are arrested for pre-crime before the event, for something that they might do. And how funny would it be if whilst I filmed this video, the police came busting in now and grabbed me? Which takes me on nicely to my next point. Many people watch the Love Police videos or my films, and they wonder, well, how is Charlie able to say these things? How does the police let him carry on saying these anti-state, anti-government, anti-establishment sayings? How do they allow him to go out in the street and megaphone when other people may try it and they get arrested straight away? I've got friends up north who try doing what I do with the megaphones, and then detectives turn up at their house and come into their living room. I've never had police turn up at my house, so why is this? I believe that we are not alone in this hyperdimensional universe, or the multiverse. It's for anyone to think that life only exists on this very small electromagnetic light spectrum is failing to see the bigger picture of infinite universes, of infinite worlds, of infinite life forms. We don't need to think that all life forms need to be carbon-based atomic structures. There's consciousness. Who knows, in the conscious realm, there may be hundreds, millions of different types of consciousness, and they may be us, they might just be our higher consciousness expanding out of our minds and going into different universes, but I don't know. I call this the occult, the mysterious, the divine, God, goddess, whichever way you wish to put it. But as many other people have said in much wiser and much more eloquent positions than I have, that we are protected by higher consciousness if we are brave, if we are courageous, and if we stay true to our path. If we live alongside our convictions, I do believe we will live as long as we need to live, and not 1 second longer, not 1 second shorter. The bigger picture is that governments, monarchies, police systems, they are machines. There are obviously conscious human beings within these establishments, but they tend to quit and become painters or artists or, you know, lovers instead of machine bureaucrats. But what these bureaucrats are very good at is providing that kind of black and white dichotomy between something beautiful and creative and something destructive and machine-like. And a painter, an artist, needs a canvas. You need a contrast, a juxtaposition for you to remind yourself and remind others as to what the good is. This is why protest on the day of the royal wedding is so essential. It's great, the royal wedding's going to go ahead, and of course that's going to be the media's main focus, but believe me, there will be a massive amount in all the news around the world if we, the anarchists, the protesters, manage to make our voices heard, manage to cause some element of disruption to this ridiculous propaganda affair. We will get out there. And so yeah, I do see the irony that we need something really evil and stupid, like the royal family, to show an alternative way. And if I were in a more comedic mood, I would put on a black balaclava and call myself the Anarchist Republican Army, the ARA, but I won't. There is divine forces at play. I've had mystical experiences which are completely mysterious. I will not go on YouTube and say, oh, I saw ghosts or spirits or quantum aliens from the Alpha Draconian system. I don't know. It's why it's called the mysterious, the divine, the special. And this is why I'm not in jail, why I'm alive, and why I'm going to turn up at the royal wedding and not be arrested. And this is a great thing for the police. If you're watching, which I know you are because you're obsessed with this channel now, is that, you know, don't arrest me. Don't arrest me. Okay? Good. And that's it.
Just going to ask him politely if I can film.
Hi. Am I able to film this?
If you want to.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Beach, can I come in, please? Is that no, you right? cannot. Well, okay. Right, bear with me just one moment. Jack, I've got him at the front door, please, mate. If you'd like to come round. Okay, Mr. Beach. I'd rather do it inside, but if you want to do it on the doorstep, that's entirely up to you. What's up? Just bear with me one moment. I want to. What's the issue? Okay, Mr. Beach, I'm arresting you as there are reasonable grounds to suspect that you've conspired with others to cause public nuisance in relation to the royal wedding. Ah, this is just the anarchist. April 2011. Yeah. You're also under arrest on suspicion of aggravated trespass at Fortman and Mason in Piccadilly, London, which occurred on Saturday the 26th of March 2011, where you've been identified by witnesses as being present. Your arrest is necessary for a prompt and effective investigation of these allegations. I need you to come with me to Parkside Police Station, please.
So, okay, what do I do?
So I would suggest, if it's all right with you, if we come in, you can get yourself dressed, you can get whatever you need, mobile, wallet, etc., and come down to Parkside with us immediately.
Do you have any evidence for the claims you're suggesting?
There is. He's marked as wanted on P&C by the Metropolitan Police. I would assume they'd have to have evidence so that we can...
I was checked yesterday.
He went into the police office.
Yeah, I went to Scotland Yard and I spoke with the police outside Buckingham Palace. They radioed me in. I'm not wanted nor disqualified.
Okay, well, unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You are. All right, you need to come with me to Parkside.
Okay, could you guys please wait outside?
No, I have to come in because you're under arrest. You are in my custody.
Okay, carry on filming. Yeah, come on.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Just to make you aware that I am actually filming you, and so is my colleague.
Yeah, it's quite
see
obvious.
that.
Lovely. No, but I have to make you aware.
Please make yourselves comfortable in the living room and I'll go and get dressed.
Not to seem draconian, but because you're under my arrest and you're going to be getting dressed, I want to make sure that you haven't got anything on you that you could use to escape or harm me or anything. So I'd like to be present.
Can I just say,
watch you get dressed.
Can I just say for the video,
near the room.
I've always joked that we don't live in China or North Korea, but actually
Times changed.
Times have changed, haven't they? All right. Well, I'll get ready and is it okay if I bring a novel? Because I might be.
I don't think so. No, we have reading material on that at the station.
I'll bring a couple of books
Just
because
take
it's.
a Charlie, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, we'll do. Can I suggest that you don't wear anything with cords in the trousers? Because in custody we have to cut cords and things out. So if you just wear trousers.
Charlie, your clothes are all in the room now.
Alright. Moving rooms.
I think, as you both know, Charlie's an activist, and him and I and many people, we're political activists. And I studied politics at Cambridge actually. It's obviously a foundation of our country that we have the right to protest, and that's not against the law. Now, Charlie's my boyfriend. I know full well that there's absolutely no evidence of him doing anything that's against the law. It's not the way that we work. We get on with the police very well. We're called the Love Police. We specialise in giving the police hugs. So we like good relationships with the police, and Charlie went to the Met the other day and said, you know, we don't cause violence, it's not what we do, but we engage in free speech, and that's why he uses a megaphone and not weapons like what you guys carry. We use a megaphone. And you're acting on orders, but you want to be very careful that you're not breaking the law here, because you're about to arrest this man.
He's already under arrest.
Okay, you've arrested this man, and there is absolutely, I know there is absolutely no reason for this to be happening.
This is a political act because of the royal weddings tomorrow, obviously.
And are we not allowed to be anti-royalist?
Guys, this is embarrassing.
But I'm worried for you.
Call a 245. By checking the surname of Veach. That's Victor Echo, India Tango, Charlie Hotel, first name Charles. Victor, it's Veach. Victor Echo, India Tango, Charlie Hotel, first name Charles, date of birth 05/08/1980. Yes, yes.
How does it come to this?
Yeah, PNC shows he's wanted.
But yesterday he was megaphoning and they said no, he's not wanted. Of course he's not wanted, he's not a criminal.
Sylvie, can you please go on Facebook?
I don't have Facebook.
Alright. Later.
Guy, I'm worried about you two as individuals, that because you're doing things which I know if you were acting of your own accord you wouldn't do, and that makes me feel that you're slaves.
Lovely, thank you. Yes, he is currently shown as wanted on PNC for conspiracy to cause public nuisance and also on suspicion of criminal trespass.
Do you know how many people were in Fortnum and Masons
They
on
got
that
nothing
day?
on me. The police asked us to leave Fortnum and Mason. We left. They got nothing on me.
Do you know how many people were in Fortnum and Masons on that day?
I don't know. Don't know anything
Okay,
about it.
well, it was probably in the, well into the hundreds. I don't know if it would have reached 1,000. So you can see that what's going on here is political targeting. You're aware of that?
That's your opinion on it, and that's what you see it as. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I've literally just been asked to come and effect this arrest.
How do you feel about taking orders like that?
It's part of my job.
How do you feel about that as your job?
I do it. It's my job. I don't mind doing it. It's not a problem. There's got to be a reason for this to be happening, and there's got to be the evidence for me to, you know, be told that he's marked on.
Do you think the police?
PNC.
Do you think the police ever make mistakes?
Oh well, I'd be lying if I said they don't.
Do you think there's ever corruption within the
Alright, I'm
police?
gonna urinate. That's why I'm closing the door. Alright?
Okay, no problem.
Do you think there's ever corruption within the police?
I'm sure there was in the past, and I'm sure there probably may well be. You know.
Do you think the police maybe use political targeting from time to time?
I can't comment, to be perfectly honest, because I don't know. I personally have never seen it.
Well, this is you're seeing it now, and you're enacting it.
What do I do?
At the end of the day,
so we're not doing it.
rather than doing it out in front of the van, if you just want to pop whatever you've got in your trouser pockets, jacket pockets, pop it all in your bag. That way, it's all kept together.
Okay, that's tobacco. That's not. It's snus. It's Norwegian. Yeah. You put it under your upper lip. But guys, like, I want to be nice to you, but
I'm not going to put the handcuffs on you because you're not going to.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything.
No, exactly. I don't.
That's the lawyer I'm going to contact.
No problem.
So, if we hadn't answered the door, what would have happened here?
If we had reasonable suspicion to believe that he was in the house, then we'd have power or grounds to enter under Section 17 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. But obviously, if we didn't know that he was here, then we would have had to come back another time and try again.
Okay, that's everything I have in my
That's
pockets.
it.
Yeah.
If you want to pop, I'm happy for you to put it on in your bag rather than me handling your property.
Do you want me to call the lady?
Sorry?
Do you want me to call?
Yes, please. Just if you could make as big a song and dance about this as you can.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you know what to do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Silky. Like, I know this is the worst time.
No, Sorry. It's just devastating to see. This is where we're at. Great.
Silky, the good news is they have nothing on me. I've done nothing on. This is a political arrest.
No, I know, but I'm so shocked.
Is this a shared house, Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
It is. Under Section 32 of PACE, which is basically it's power that enables us to search the place that you've been arrested for any items that are related to the allegations of the offences that you've been arrested for.
I'm gonna get you out very quickly. Your superiors don't know what they've got themselves into. Taking it things far too far.
With you present, I prefer with you present rather than to have you out of the way.
Yeah.
So that at least you can oversee it yourself then. My colleague or myself, one of the two, one will stand with you, and we just want to search the areas that you have access to. So for example, your room and any other communal areas that you might use.
Do I have an option?
No.
Okay, well.
Thank you. Could you direct me,
Sure,
I'm afraid,
yeah.
because obviously I've never been here before. Is this your room, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to stay with Mr. Beach Jack, and I'll just have a quick look.
Come here, just hold me. Just hold me. Maybe I can help you if there's anything you're looking for in particular.
It's quite alright, it's not a problem. It's literally, it's just a cursory search, but
I
it has to.
understand. Yeah, I understand.
Is there any other rooms that you use that you have access to?
No.
Okay, alright, no problem. You'd like to come with us then, please?
With all my heart. I won't be long, okay?
I hope you guys never forget what's happened here today and how much you're affecting me personally and Charlie.
I'll be honest, at the end of the day, every time I arrest somebody, it always has a negative effect on somebody.
Yeah.
But there is always a reason behind it, and I wouldn't be making the arrest if. You know,
Yeah, but if you actually listen to me, Ashley, you'll remember that I've told you, you don't have to believe me,
I know
but time will take its course and you'll realise that there is not a reason behind this arrest except for political targeting, not something I say lightly.
Okay,
Thank you. Give me another kiss, okay? Stay up here. I love you. I'll call you as soon as I can.
I'll come. I'll follow you out.
Okay. You've got the key, Sylvie, yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't packed his pockets down now yet. I've seen him put everything into the bag. Just before we go outside, I was going to give you a quick pat down just to make sure there's anything not that I think there is. Do you want to turn around for you? Cheers. Have you got anything sharp, anything that hurt me or you?
Certainly not.
Okay. I always ask just because some people have done it in the past when I've got them before. They're not very nice people.
Probably not during political arrests though, eh?
Well, you know, I meet a lot of different people. Such a waste of time.
Can you just remind me of what the charges are?
It's not a charge, it's an allegation. So the offences are conspiracy to cause public nuisance and also on suspicion of aggravated trespass.
Okay, thank you.
Sylvie, I love you. I'll be back as soon as I can. Remember, these guys are not, they're just following their orders, but, you know. You got the key, Sylvie, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absurd.
Watch the front door as well, but you got it, you got it. So you got to see this cage that I'm expected to go into.
If I find anything, then it'll
belong to me. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. In the cage, watch my fingers.
Yeah, I think so.
Free, Charlie Beach! 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 Free, Charlie Beach!
I am one of the 63336. We each have special knowledge.
We are a network of minds with answers.
Who's going to win the World Cup? Are baboons evil?
When's the last train from Leeds to Hull?
Are what?
Where? You can text any question
to the 63336 on
63336.
Text any question to 63336. 63336. I am one of the 63336.
Nail color day after day. Not me. New Revlon Top Speed Nail Enamel. Cool color with a built-in top coat that sets in just 60 seconds.
With Revlon, you can change your mind again and again and again.
New Revlon Top Speed Nail Enamel.
This is intriguing. I believe the word is evil, people. Evil! This will come in real handy when they redecorate hell. Can't you just feel the darkness, the dark forces working within it? It's enough to make a nun go bald. This piece represents man's eternal quest to destroy the Alaskan king crab in his natural habitat. Either that or it's just a big ugly eye and I hate it.
You did to my painting!
I'm giving it a sty.
You idiot! Stop it! It took me 4 hours to create the great piece of art and you ruined it!
I've seen better art in the bathroom at Sizzler, honey. Somewhere I could just park my nails in your face right now.
Go ahead and try it. I dare you.
The scientific community released a report that proves, beyond a doubt, that the Earth is getting warmer. This global warming is caused by things you grown-ups do, and by the things you don't. If drastic measures aren't taken soon, by the time I grow up, there won't be any fish left in the sea. Rainforests and clean air will be a thing of the past. The polar ice caps will be gone, oceans will rise, entire countries will disappear. Life will change in ways you can't even imagine. There could be famine, worldwide epidemics. Life expectancy will be lower. And we're not just talking about the future. We're talking about my future. But this is no surprise. You adults have known about this for years. And though you could have done something about it, you haven't. You can say, it's not my problem. You can say, I won't be around in 50 years. But from now on, you can't say I didn't know. Starting today, the lines are drawn. You have to choose sides. Either you're for my future, or you're against it. You're a friend, or you're an enemy. I may just be a kid today, but tomorrow will be different. This is the last time I'll be talking to you adults. You've had your chance to fix this problem. Now we have ours. We won't be cute, we won't be patronized, and we will not be denied our future.
The following message is brought to you by TalkSport and the Anti-Terrorist Hotline. The man at the end of the street doesn't talk to his neighbours much, because he likes to keep himself to himself. He pays with cash because he doesn't have a bank card, and he keeps his curtains closed because his house is on a bus route. This may mean nothing, but together it could all add up to you having suspicions. We all have a role to play in combating terrorism. If you see anything suspicious, call the confidential anti-terrorist hotline on 0800 789 321. If you suspect it, report it.
The problem is the monopoly game, which is controlled by the Federal Reserve, the private bank, which is actually controlled out of London, is manipulating all the dollars to put them out, put more and more people into debt. So the illusion of equity they have in real estate is coming apart. The players that are analyzing everything are expecting massive foreclosures next year and the beginning of what we call the recession it's going to be worse than 29. Like your house that you're living in. You think you own it. You don't.
Right.
You have contractual right to transfer the airspace, subject to you paying taxes to the state.
Right.
Or the Global 2000 discussions that we had. The real problem that they have, as Kissinger says, is there are just too many people on the planet. And 40% of the world, 2 billion of us, exist on less than $2 a day. The summary of the Global 2000 report I put up on my website, nohoax.com, but if you look at it, it makes sense to get rid of people. So what they said, they're going to make godlike decisions on who lives and who dies. Now, obviously, some of the meetings we sat on, we were planning on using neutron bombs on the major cities, because that contains most of what they call...
You actually heard this?
I sat in on the meetings. I was in the game big time. In fact, I was making such a mess, they decided rather than kill me, which they could, They just invited me into the inner group and asked me to be the finance chairman. And at that point, I probably would have been in, you know, Secretary of the Treasury or something, whatever they wanted to do with me. What I was doing prior to that, so, you know, making it right, I would volunteer to become a president of a company, and I'd go in and liquidate it. And we get rid of the expendable containers. That was my job.
Expendable containers meaning human beings?
That's right.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's
well, that was the
inside
terminology.
vernacular, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, well, that's what we used at that time. I mean, it went from there to useless eaters today, so you're happy with it, you're a human resource. So,
right.
which, you know, all you are is part of the commodity, even in the business sense. You look at it, you have a cost. Labor, what is labor?
Yeah.
Human resource.
Right.
When you're going to put together some kind of product. Well, the inside of the game, when we started to use neutron bombs, today they figure that biologicals are much cheaper. They're still planning on, the plan is to get a war started in the Middle East. And they're still planning on using a neutron bomb, or one of the bombs that they've got developed on Israel, and that's to begin World War III, which is all on the cards. And it's going to happen. Yeah, they even put a monument up for this whole program. It's called the Georgia Guidestones. You know,
yeah.
outside of Atlanta, you know, and they've got it all set down there. It's all in 8 languages. They want basically it's fait accompli as far as they're concerned. It's just to get the thing going in the Middle East, and it's not going fast enough. I mean, Carter put this thing in, so we have the Plan 2000 with the war starting in the year 2000 in the Middle East.
Right.
Reduce the population of the planet down to 500 million. Have one world currency under the Homeland Security, or FEMA, if you want to call it. They're going to declare an emergency, which are going to shut down everything. My friends, my CIA associates, I don't even call them friends anymore. CIA is crooks in action.
Yeah.
They're all professional liars.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to be if they have that job.
Yeah.
So that you have to look at what they're doing. Anyway, they're so concerned they're leaving the country too. Most of them are going to Latin America. Meanwhile, they're closing in every day right now, just closing in to make it so we're going to be set up in these enemy prisoner of war camps. I published a book. It's called Chaos in America. In it, I was asked to build an enemy prisoner of war camp. I put the contract in this book, so you can read it for yourself. This is in downtown Las Vegas, right on the railroad tracks. It says enemy prisoner of war camp. They're all on top. And they're building them all the way across the United States right now. Bush signed an executive order taking the old forts and the army places that we shut down to get those organized to hold the so-called dissidents. Now, what's the definition of a dissident? And the problem is that we're going to enslave ourselves, because most of the people want to keep having food coming in, and you're going to follow the line. You're just walking yourself into your own prison camp. Then we're going to come down to the extermination, just like World War II. Well, Phil and I have lectured together. I know Phil Snyder. He's dead now.
Yeah, I know he's dead. And so what about what he was saying about the number of bases at that time? I think it was 129 bases before he died. Underground had already been built. Is that all for the elite?
Yeah.
Really?
What are they going to do with the rest of the people? They just get rid of them, leave them above ground and be radiated. Now, my son happens to be a nuclear physicist. Spent the last 3.5 years in a secret city in Russia. They're about 12 years ahead of us. They have 22,000 nuclear warheads. And of course, we're the target. The Soviets have 3 nuclear submarines on the west coast and 3 on the east coast. They're about 2 football fields in length, 5 stories tall, and they all are nuclear power and aimed at our major cities.
Okay.
West Coast gone. Well, because the plan is the northern hemisphere is where they're going to release the nuclear bombs, and the theory was that the winds from the North Pole that are coming down, because that's increasing drastically, will go to the equator, and there will be very little spillover because of the reverse of the winds, because of the southern hemisphere.
Okay.
So therefore, the nuclear radiation here will be a lot more than the southern hemisphere.
And this is a fait accompli, you believe?
Oh, they think so. Oh, yeah, they think they've won. That's the reason why they don't bother about me talking about it. They don't care whether you know or not. What are you going to do about it? And you have no idea what China is until you go over there for yourself. With 1,300,000,000. You understand? Almost, well, a little over 4 times our population.
Right.
It's, you know, I spent some time over there and I had some government friends. They think they're going to, what they're going to do is let the West go have its fight. And then they want to clean up. They say it's been 5,000 years. We want to run the world when they get through. And what they're doing? Acquiring all the assets. They figure that Canada and the United States, the property there will, the food growing areas will be enough to take care of their people. And that's what they're looking at. Why are they? I mean, they bought
So
oil.
the U.S. will become a resource.
Whatever's left of it.
Whatever's left of it, yeah. You seem to be in a unique position to be able to put a fair amount of this together, which is quite interesting.
Well, I walk my talk. I played the game.
You played the game. You know one level of it.
And I know. I used, like I say, I used to play around with the world leaders, so I know what they're planning on doing.
What change of heart? What happened in you that made you decide to share this information? Perhaps it happens at the inside levels.
Well, it come back to a moral situation that happened to me, I think. When I flew to Aspen, I brought my 2 daughters up there so they could go, go skiing. And when I was invited to this meeting, when I walked into the room, the world leaders are there, and that's when they asked me to be the finance chairman. As they said, we'd like you to be the finance chairman for the next president of the United States. And the first thing I asked is, why me? And they said, well, we owe you a favor. Remember, I told you I volunteered to be president of companies as I went down.
And then you liquidate,
I didn't charge them anything for it. It was just a game.
I see.
And anyway, that's what they said.
So I thought you'd be good on the team,
I'd be good. I'd be a team player. I just did it because it was, another one of these things. So next thing I asked them, I said, well, wait a minute. I just started this $100 million project. And they said, don't worry about it. We'll put it on ice. And I said, okay, who with? And I said, well, you can do that. Then I said the next thing was, who is going to be the next president? Now, this is 2 years before he became president.
Right.
They said Jimmy Carter, and I said, Jimmy who? And they said, well, he's the Democratic governor of Georgia. And I said, I've been voting Republican. And Paul Volcker said, son, don't worry about it. We control them both.
Seen these cops, folks, and they are pathetic. I mean, they're just weak. You look in their eyes. A real warrior, somebody who's really strong, wants to fight other warriors. It's just totally sick. It's really a bunch of limp-wristed people in big fancy battle outfits. Military. And don't sit there and tell me it isn't true. Don't you dare, in sitting there in your ignorance, neck deep in the cess of your ignorance, with all sorts of detritus floating around you. Blue shirts in the city. Sometimes they're getting out. In your ignorant brain, don't you sit there and say I'm making that up, punk. I'm talking to you out there that are in denial, that think you're patriots. You go look up what I just told you and find out it's true. Don't you just sit there and say I'm lying about it. Face it. You mean nothing to these people. Nothing.
Our way of life is under attack. But we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on public means for expanding its sphere of influence. On infiltration instead of invasion. On subversion instead of elections. On intimidation instead of free choice. On guerrillas by night instead of armies by day.
we have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN Charter.
Is that treason? Is that espionage? Hitler couldn't conquer us. Stalin, Napoleon, whoever, couldn't conquer England, couldn't conquer America. But now we're conquered by these private bankers who have screwed everything up by design and gotten us deep in debt, building their empire. And now they say, don't worry, we got a plan. We're going to take over even more. And meanwhile, look out. Iran wants to nuke him. Look out. There's Muslim terrorists everywhere. Meanwhile, the illegal aliens are pouring across. There's thousands dead. Obama says, that he's going to leave the border open so that people get terrorized into accepting amnesty. There are true people out there. There are people, and you know you're one of them. So it's up to you. You know you're good. You know you've got passion. You know you care about liberty and freedom, and you have to have confidence in yourself and take action. You're at a candlelight dinner with your wife or girlfriend, and there's that real moment of falling into each other's eyes, like looking into pools of water, and there's that tension where, the woman is just ready to go. And you're ready to go. 9/11 was an inside job. They blew all 3 buildings up right in front of you. They blew up Building 7 with blast points going out. And I'm supposed to say, no, there's no way the government would do that because I choose to not believe it. I'm not going to talk about it. The government wants to kill you. Do you like scientifically being hit by hardcore Pentagon savagery? This government is pure evil!
I don't think so.
I'm sorry. Nothing else matters once you realize that eco-science was adopted. You just randomly open the page and it's how to sterilize the women, how to drug the water, how to chemtrail us. It's just absolute confession, signed, sealed, and delivered.
Wow. Just wow.
They do everything they said they were going to do. Right down the line. They say they're going to do this, they do it. They say they're going to do that, and they've said... So I've seen their whole battle plan. They admit what they're going to do. And up here, it's killing 80 to 90% of us, flying over, spraying us in the end, killing us in mass, activating cancer systems they put in us, all this stuff. And they're already up to here, and I'm like, my God, they keep doing everything they say they're going to do. My God, they're really going to do it. My God, warn people!
Oh, well, that's nice.
Shut up! I'm like a chimpanzee in a tree, jumping up and down, warning other chimpanzees when I see a big cat coming through the woods. I'm like a bird that sees a cat coming up to eat some of the other birds, and I flap my wings and fly off. I'm the weirdo because I'm sitting in the tree going... The
hell is wrong with you?
My flipping out, my freaking out is normal and wholesome and good. I am normal.
I don't think so.
Manufacturing process. Aspartame. They take a genetically engineered E. coli bacteria, a bacteria that normally lives in sewage. They genetically engineer it to eat different forms of toxic waste. Just like they have oil-eating bacteria, similar to that, for oil spills. And then it defecates aspartame. or the base product of it, and then they ferment the dead bacteria in their feces, and then that's your aspartame. Your Equal. Your aspartame, brand name Equal. NutraSweet. It's very nutritious. You like bacteria crap?
You're disgusting.
I could go on for hour after hour the insanity of what we're living under, what we're in the middle of. Just like George Carlin said, I'll tell you why education's never going to get any better. It's only going to get worse because the people that own this country, there's a big club and you ain't in it. They want you dumb. They want you obedient little servants. And they think you're so dumb, they have CSI shows where anybody that questions fluoride in the water or chemtrails they're spraying on us, and they admit they're spraying now, is a terrorist that wants to murder people.
Completely out of your mind.
No, you're the kook, dumbass.
Oh my God.
I've had it with your crap. That's the way it is. I've beaten people's brains out.
I can't believe you did that.
I don't care. My whole life, I really have been macho and a tough guy. We need to let the fur fly, folks. We need to wake up these brain-dead zombies that have no idea what's going on to them. And we're not going to have that future. They're going to set up their world government and kill most of us.
You've got some serious problems.
No. I'm down here to screw you.
Inappropriate.
I just can't handle it anymore. It's so clear. It's all around us.
Go to a therapist.
And then you just sit there laughing at me.
I don't have time for this.
You're a jackass, lady.
Shut up, you loser.
This witch. This woman will be hurt by the government in her life. She will. She's drinking fluoride water. She's taking vaccines. When she gets cancer when she's 42 years old, she'll wonder why she's burning up with pain as she dies. And you will, because you're scum, lady. You love evil. That's why. You love your nanny state that wants to slit your big fat throat.
Shut up.
I'm tired of your crap.
Why don't you just leave then?
I just can't do I've got to move on. We're done. 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 Done. Do you get it through your stinking head? We're through. We're done. You understand? We're done. We're through. We're finished. It's over. What was your take on the Obama deception?
I'm out of here.
You can go to hell!
The last night in Vancouver, when I did the last talk, a guy came to me at the break who'd been on the protest at Seattle against globalization, when the agent provocateurs were sent in to cause trouble, which the cameras shot, and was blamed on the protesters who up to that point had been perfectly peaceful. This is what happens, agent provocateurs, problem, reaction, solution. And this is a guy who, you know, believes in Jesus and all that stuff, which if he wants to do that, that's great. But the point is, you know, it wasn't some way-out guy who smokes a weed or something and has visions. And he was arrested and taken to the police station. And in the police station, when he was being held down and the sergeant came over, he said the sergeant shapeshifted in front of him, turned into a reptile, and then came back to human, and then shapeshifted again and returned. So then when you talk to insiders, and when you look back at the texts that talk about the fact that this serpent race exists in planes unknown to man, just outside his frequency range, then there is a gathering mass of evidence that this is going on. And, you know, again, people who dismiss it without question, without research, and without reading further about it, they're not making a statement about me. They're making a statement about themselves. The idea that they can come to definite conclusions about something without even looking at it. I mean, excuse me, and you claim to be in control of your own mind. So it's not my job to persuade them. I don't want to persuade them. But the point is, there's a gathering mass of evidence to support it. And what I was going to say is, you know, you talk to physicists, and even within this frequency range, this narrow frequency range that we can access, that we call the universe, we can only see about 10% of the matter that exists in this universe. We can only see matter that reflects light. Luminous matter, they call it. Dark matter that doesn't reflect light in a way that we can perceive it, we can't see. So, you look at the fantastic diversity of genetics and expressions of life that we can see in this tiny 10% and less of this one little frequency range, then you kind of think outside of this frequency range is infinity. If entities had not evolved through the reptilian stream, when you look at the unbelievable diversity of the reptilian species in this tiny little 10% of the universe that we can see, in this little frequency range, then it's not that it's fantastic that this species could throw up a form that is humanoid and has an intellectual intelligence. It's actually staggering if it had not done so. I spoke at this conference in America, and I talked to this guy who ran a magazine, and he was a real straight Christian patriot guy, not into all this, you know, stuff. And he said to me, I like your stuff, he said. I like all your political stuff and all your secret societies, he said, but I have a real problem with this reptilian thing and the shape-shifting. I can't get my head around that. So fair enough, not a problem. Just take what you like and leave the rest of it. So anyway, the next day, I walk into the area where he is, and everyone's in the conference listening to somebody, so the room's empty. He said, I've got to talk to you. He said, I told you. He said, last night, he said, I met this man who had a real problem with me because of something I did that he didn't like, something I wrote he didn't like. He said, and he got angry.
But I was being exposed at a very early age to the really totally dark side, a side of the occult world that most people don't even want to think about. I woke up one night, middle of the night, and I went totally ballistic. When I woke up, there was an entity in the room, and it was, I cannot tell you how evil the presence was to my spirit. Whatever it was that was in my room was so profoundly evil. So I started having, for a lack of a better term, otherworld experiences at a very early age, going out of my body. That was a whole off-the-wall experience, too, at 8 years old, 9 years old. One night when I was a small child, my dog woke up at about 5 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, my dog was howling and barking, and, of course, waking up the neighborhood. And my dad yelled, go quiet that dog. And I knew that there was something bad because the dog was going out of his mind. And so I ran out to the back porch, and I'm telling you, the dog had cornered between my backyard fence and my dad's garage. It had cornered a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a little small, about 2 foot high, or I would estimate about 2 foot high, full developed dinosaur. I actually, with my own eyes, saw 6 pterodactyls in Los Angeles back in I would say probably 1980, 81. And I saw this little black dot, and it was almost not perceptible, and then I watched it because it seemed to be coming my way. This thing was flat out moving, and it was a huge pterodactyl. It was enormous in size, and it was moving at an extraordinary rate of speed. And on Saturday morning, I was in a restaurant back in '59, and there was a young little girl sitting next to me, and I started a conversation, and so we became very good friends. So one night she came over and knocked on my door, and she said, my dad wants to talk to you. So I went with her, and I knew with an immediacy that this was a very special man. And then, just very nonchalantly, he said to me, he said, remember When you were about 10 years old, 8 years old, something like that, back in Florida, and remember how your dad built a new back porch? The old back porch was falling apart, and you were talking to God that night, and you asked God to let you do something important with your life? He said, remember that? I know that because we were there. We saw you. We've been watching you for a long time. We brought you here.